Mikel Arteta has just confirmed that we are actively in the market trying to sign new players and looking for possibilities that are actually available. So in January, Arsenal are going to be very active trying to sign everyone we can and to try to do every deal we can, according to our manager, Mikel Arteta. Going to be diving into every part of his press conference after the AC Milan game, trying to understand what exactly he was talking about, but also break down the major aspects and major points of his talk. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this one to 300 likes. And thank you so much. We are at 60,000 subscribers. I'm really ecstatic. I'm really ecstatic. The number is magic, and we're now 40,000 away from a magic 100,000. We need to get that play button. So hit the subscribe button and let's get into this one. So Mikel has been speaking to the media about a few things, on a couple of things, and also answering some questions after we beat Milan and won the Dubai Cup. By the way, Arsenal champions as well. We have won the Dubai Cup. That's the first trophy we have won in this season. So probably we can win more. The Premier League, the Europa League, and some others. We are out of the Carabao Cup, which actually doesn't bother me. But I think the FA Cup will be one where we need to take our chances. We will need to take our chances in the FA Cup just to make sure that if we don't win any of the other big two, we can actually capitalize on winning the FA Cup for time number 14. I mean, it would be great for us to win it for the 15th time, winning it. First and foremost, Mikel was asked about the markets and in January, whether we're going to be active, whether the team's going to be trying to recruit new players. And he said there in January, right now, we are actively looking for possibilities. We are actively looking for players and deals that we actually can accomplish in January. And that means if there are any deals available, if there are any players that will be for sale and Arsenal feel these players can actually add value, we will sign them. I think it's a very big story today because we were talking about court offside in the morning and how they were saying we had agreed deals with Mikhailo Modric and Yuri Tillemans, and I said for me I'll give them a positive there because they're literally riding on the current waves. But what a statement from Mikel Arteta. That's kind of a reassuring statement to the fans and to the fan base that whoever is available, if the opportunities are there, we will sign. He's already said it. His squad is short. He needs more players. He needs more players to get into that squad, build it, make it strong, and probably make us title contenders, worthy title contenders. I use the word worthy at times because I feel if we won the Premiership today, we will have kind of run away with it rather than convincingly win it. And I know many Arsenal fans out there feel the same way. You want us to keep winning this, every game. You want us to keep being on top of the table because if Manchester City were on top of that table, to get them down is going to be the hardest thing we will ever have to do in our lives. And remember, we have a game in hand where we play Manchester City, and that's gonna be another nightmare. It could be a nightmare for Manchester City as well, but it could be a nightmare for Arsenal, right? So Mikel says we are short. We need players, and right now he says we are already active. It's not in January that we'll be active, but we are already active, seeking for possibilities, seeking for potential deals, and anything that happens, we will get the deals done if they actually happen. I think, look, January is tricky, and I would never blame Arsenal for not signing these big names in January. It's a tricky market. Teams don't want to lose players, and players are not really ready to move. And some players whose contracts run down in the summer would prefer to join a new destination in the summer because there you're going to get a bigger sign-on fee. For example, we want Marcus Thuram in January. He's done well at Borussia Mönchengladbach, 10 goals so far. It's not yet even half season. He's scored double figures already. So if he waits until the end of the season, he gets a bigger sign-on fee. He gets a bigger salary from a foreign club outside Germany. It could also be Borussia Dortmund, but he's going to get his wages doubled, and he's also going to get a bigger sign-on fee because literally the club will have incurred no costs in signing him from his parent club. So it's a difficult market. It's a very, very difficult environment to sign players. It's a hard market to negotiate deals. And I'm so happy that we have already started. We've actually started early. It's one thing you always need to do. It's one thing Arsenal were always gonna be required to do. Begin your negotiations in December. Whether it's Modric, Tielemans, whoever you want, begin your negotiations in December. It gives you another extra 30 days to get these deals done, to understand where the deal is going to end up, predict the patterns, and then add the pieces together, right? So let's wait and see what's going to come out of there. I know Mikhail Modric is a priority because I got that from the Athletic and Fabrizio Romano. So we know Mikhail Modric is going to be a key target for Arsenal. Talks underway between us and the representatives of the player. Very positive talks. It can happen anytime soon. If I think it's about us convincing Shakhtar to reduce their asking price, probably by half their valuation. I mean, it's gonna be quite embarrassing for us or Shakhtar. It depends on where the deal is gonna end. If Shakhtar cut their asking price to 50 million euros, yeah, it's gonna be quite embarrassing. Like they are holding out for a 100 million euro transfer fee, and then they accept 45 million euros or 50 million euros. It will be quite hypocritical and really embarrassing. But I wouldn't really care about that. And then you have Yuri Tielemans as well, who I think Leicester City will have to decide our fate on this one. They'll either, because if they decide that he leaves on a free in the summer, that's the end of the deal. I mean, the parent club has said, we will lose him on a free in the summer. We don't want 10 million. We don't want 15 million euros from you. We will actually lose him on a free in the summer. That means we actually move on. But I think the positive here, guys, the positive from this one is that Arsenal already active in the market, in the January transfer market. I've seen a few signings, actually. I think it's been Wolverhampton Wanderers. Have they signed Matthias Cunha from Atletico Madrid? Cunha has been linked with Arsenal as well. But at times I don't want to do such stories because I feel there is very minimal interest from Arsenal. And at times, I also feel these stories are produced by agents just to drive some more traffic and drive the prices up. So Matthias Cunha to Arsenal, don't believe that could happen. But look, Wolves have already done some deals with Atletico Madrid as per Fabrizio Romano. I've looked at those deals, and I've seen a few other clubs trying to do deals. The Jude Bellingham stock right now is one of the hottest on the market. And if I'm Arsenal, I'll just throw a bid in there. Look, I love betting. I love predicting. I love stocks and Bitcoin and things like that. It's risky business, but it's one that you would wake up and you're pretty rich. Like, so I would throw some money or a bid on the Jude Bellingham stock. You never know what's gonna happen. Not in January, of course, but you walk in there. I think right now we are very attractive. We are that guy in a suit. So we walk in there in a tuxedo and say, boom, we want to sign Jude Bellingham. What you all have got to say, say it. And then, we see what happens. But anyway, we are active. Next, Mikel Arteta spoke about Thomas Partey, and he said Partey is in very, very good shape. Doesn't have any injuries. We don't have any injury worries. And he played, of course, today. He started the game against AC Milan. So Partey is in good shape. We've already said that for Arsenal to succeed, you need to have Thomas Partey fit 24/7, whether we are playing football or we are not playing football. This guy's injury even mentally affects our players. I think this is one guy that Arsenal cannot afford to have in the sick bay right now or at whatever time in our lives. We can't have Thomas Partey in the sick bay. So Mikel says he's in good shape. We're going to see more of him over the weekend as we play Juve, and come 26th, when we take on West Ham United as well. Mikel on Granit Xhaka and why he didn't play today. He said Xhaka is already back with us. He's back in the team and he's already asking to play with the team on the weekend or over the weekend. I think Xhaka is a hardworking guy and he's Mikel Arteta's favorite player. Not playing today simply means that Mikel has decided I won't play my favorite player. I won't play one of my key players. I'm actually going to let him rest, do his, be his own, and then we can, he can get back in the squad slowly but surely. So Xhaka is back, and this actually means most of the boys are back. If you look at the World Cup squads and how many Arsenal players are there, Croatia, we do not have any first team players playing for Croatia. France, it's William Saliba. Argentina? No, not really. And Morocco? No. Although I would love to sign, I would love Arsenal to sign a few players from that Moroccan squad, especially Bono, the goalkeeper. He's been absolutely remarkable. I think I would also sign Livakovic from Croatia as well. Another goalkeeper has been absolutely remarkable. But the likes of Aaron Ramsdale, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Granit Xhaka, and Takehiro Tomiyasu are all back from the World Cup. Welcome back, boys. We have a lot to do. If you couldn't do it with your respective national teams, let us get the cultural diversity, put it together, and aim at the Premier League. I know we can actually do that. So Xhaka is back. The team that we're gonna see against Juventus is likely to be 1 or 2 players short of the real team we are going to see in the Premier League after the World Cup. I believe Xhaka will play. I believe Tomiyasu will play. I believe Saka will play in that game. And I believe Gabriel Martinelli, who has not played so many minutes for Brazil in the World Cup, will play in that game as well. So, look, I'm looking forward to seeing all these boys back. And I'm looking forward to really saying, welcome back. Let's get the party started and let's get back to work. Mikel talking about the World Cup as a distraction. He said, yeah, look, this one has been the worst World Cup in all history. Apart from, and mark my words, this World Cup has been the best in the history of Africa because for the first time, an African team can make it to the finals of the World Cup for the first time ever in history if Morocco beat France, which I think is likely to happen. I looked at that game that France played against England, and I thought England were the better side, and I thought England created the better chances, and I thought for 1 second, if Morocco just believe they can do it, then they can actually go ahead and do it. So apart from that small fact, this has been the worst World Cup. Like, we've had to postpone as many games as we could to incorporate the World Cup. We have had to play compact games, players picking up injuries that are really uncalled for in order for us to prepare for the World Cup. And the hosts, Qatar, I'm going to say this is how I feel about them. It's not about the rights movements of the other side. No, actually, I think Qatar rigged the process of getting to host the World Cup. I don't think they legitimately want it. I think they rigged the process. And since then, when they won it, it has been controversial. It has really been controversial, but I don't want to talk about that. So Mikel says it has been a distraction. We have been doing very well, and then all of a sudden you have to break off. All of a sudden, your momentum, your rhythm, your consistency has to be interrupted because the Arabs want to host a World Cup in the winter. Like why? Like, seriously, why? Africa has hosted, and I think ours could have been the best World Cup hosted by an underdog nation, South Africa. We did a better job than Qatar will ever do. And I think the football there in Qatar is actually good, or to be honest. The refereeing is shit. The football is good. The conditions, shit. Right? Let's move on. So Mikhail also talked about Ben White as well. And I think there is a lot of controversy. I don't think I need to address this in a video. But if you want me to do a video about the Ben White situation, then probably I will. Okay? So what happened is that Ben White left the English camp, or the England camp, for the World Cup, where he was actually called up early. There was a fallout between him and the assistant manager for the England national team. He decided to leave. And Mikel, reacting to that, he said, "We love Ben White here. We know his character. We know what he is like, and we got no problems with him." Okay, so whoever feels Ben White is a disgrace, I've seen YouTubers, I've seen TikTokers say Ben White is a disgrace. The guy is not even playing football for England in the World Cup, and people have nerves to call him a disgrace. Harry Maguire starts over Benjamin White. White is playing for the best team in England right now, and he's put Arsenal on top of the table, and Maguire plays on ahead of him. And Maguire scores ahead, an own goal against Olivier Giroud, and they're out. And all of a sudden, it's Ben White who's the disgrace. Look, I don't even care. So Mikel says Ben is already back balling with us. He's going to be playing football. Whatever happened won't affect his game time with the side. That is all I need to know. I don't think I really need to know much about what many people think about Ben. I think he's a great lad. I think he's a very, very great lad. And whoever thinks Ben is a disgrace, I don't agree. I just simply do not agree. Hit that button. The 60K family. I don't know. When we get to 100,000, I don't know how I'll feel. But I want this channel to be much better next year. And if you have any changes you want us to make, please let me know. Apart from adding graphics to and photos and pictures, because I'm gonna do that. Apart from that, let me know how we should improve the channel, because next year we must be balling. I'll see you soon. I'll do my 6 things we learned later on, player ratings, and more content coming your way. Of course, as always, I'm Cossy.